guys? Radical Reggie back at you with another video with my buddy Joel from Media Glitch, and today we're doing our top 5 games from 2019. So I'm very excited to do this video. This is our 3rd annual video of doing this, right, Joel?
Yeah, man. 3 years going strong. Let's keep it going.
3 years going strong, man. We had to make it happen. So, yeah, this year we're actually doing 5 games. I think me and Joel, over the years, we actually done like 10 games apiece, that's pretty long. So we wanted to shorten it up this year. And just kind of to show you this, our top 5 games from last year. And the thing is, these games had to come out that year, so nothing like that was maybe released earlier than released as a physical that year. So games that were just released that year. So very excited about this. Joel, who goes first?
You go first. This is your show. I'm in your home first right now. You do it.
all right. I'll go first. First game on the list, and this game I've been waiting for a long time. This is Gunvolt Chronicles Luminous Avenger 9. So if you know of a company called Indie Crates, they used to work with Capcom, and they helped produce the Mega Man X series and Mega Man ZX series and so on.
Okay.
So they're actually their own company now, and they're starting to make their own IPs. And the Gunvolt series is like a one that's getting very popular. So if you like those type of like Mega Man X, you will definitely be at home with something like this. So I'm actually close to the end of the game. I actually did a live stream on the game. I got close to the end, but I messed up. But I was having a lot of fun with it. These games take me back to my childhood because I remember me and my buddy Gary used to play these games, and it was a lot of fun. And I'm happy to see these type of games still being made to this day. Sprite-based animation and all that good stuff. You know, a lot of companies stray away from that and they go to the 3D format or whatever, or just cheap 2D animation, but not Indie Crates. They put it out there, man. They give you the business, and that's why I love that company. So make sure you guys support Indie Crates if you can. Joel, have you seen this game before? Do you know about Indie Crates or any of their products?
No, I don't. This is all new to me. But if it's Mega Man style, I'm down.
There you go, man. So like I said, Gunvolt Chronicles Luminous Adventure. Definitely check it out, guys. And this is my number 5 game of 2019.
My number 5 game, and I have to just kind of turn on my Switch here because I don't have a physical. Because I'm not like Reggie. I don't buy everything physical. It may seem like I do, but in this generation, I kind of stopped buying physical. You don't ever really own it. There's a million updates. It's like, okay, why, you know? So
yeah,
that's another video, right, Reggie? That's another video.
It is. But that's the whole video, like probably like hours of discussion. I can already see it.
And so I have, before I start, because I know the comment section is going to be like, why didn't you say this game or this game or this game or this game? Well, because guys, you know, we can't play every game. And so my top 5 are 5 games that I played. They're not 5 games you played. This is all opinion. So, you know, I want to know in the comment section what your top 5 games are. But don't get mad at Reggie and me because we didn't play some game that came out. You know, like I just, you know, Reggie knows I'm a film director.
Well said, yes.
I'm a film director. I don't have as much time as I used to play games. I do still play a lot of games. But, so, that being said, sorry, I just want to put that out there. Number 5
there you go.
is Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening. And I just recently bought it. It came out in 2019. I just recently bought it. We're in 2020 now. And I was like, oh man, I love the old one. And I wonder if if it'll be still new to me, or am I just gonna, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And man, when I loaded it up and you hear when Link's in bed and then you hear that music. As soon as I heard it, I knew I had made the right purchase. And I have been playing this thing nonstop. What they did, the whole redesign, the whole revamp looks beautiful. And it just makes you remember why you fell in love with these games to begin with. And honestly, I'm one of the few that had a hard time with Breath of the Wild, like getting into it. And every time I would walk away and come back, I'd be like, okay, what was I doing? I couldn't really remember.
Well, it was kind of new to the point to where weapons would break and all that stuff, and it kind of threw me off too. Though I liked Breath of the Wild, it just wasn't really easy for me to get into it. Now going back to Link's Awakening, which I still haven't picked up yet, does it remind you of the old school Game Boy or Game Boy Color version?
Yeah, it just everything is there that you want, you know, and it just only makes you want them to do that with A Link to the Past and Minish Cap and some of those other ones.
Here's a funny story. So my mom got me Link's Awakening for the DS, DX system, not DS, back in Christmas of '98, and I remember how much fun I had with that game. And I remember I actually took it to school because in my auto mechanics class we had a lot of downtime. So I said, man, let me go beat this game, man, because I think I'm almost done. And I beat it in class, and I remember how happy I was and everything. I was like, dude, this is like freaking crazy. So that was definitely one of my favorite Zelda games. Is it the same for you as well?
I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites. You know, I'm one of those weird people that love Zelda 2. That's my favorite Zelda.
No, dude, Zelda 2 is my top one, dude. I love the Adventures of Link, man. That had the darkest, well, at least in my opinion, that story was deep. And it was a true sequel to the first game.
And then Minish Cap, then Link to the Past. So this falls a little bit further on it.
Okay.
It's still,
your top Zelda games is very similar to mine.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. I was a little on the fence. I was like, oh, it's just a remake. But, man, once you play it, you're like, this is so much more. They put a charm to it that, oh, gosh, that you forget. That only Nintendo can do this little spell they put on you. I don't know. It's awesome. So that's my number 5.
So my number 4 here is a Zelda-like game, man. You ready for this? I bet you never heard of this game, man. Nobody has, unfortunately, except one of my friends, Kyle. This is called Sparklite for the PS4 and is available for the Switch. Basically, this is like a top-down Zelda game. And I mean, if you're a fan of the old school Zelda games like Link to the Past, Minish Cap, and all that stuff, you'll be right at home with this game. So it has a lot of personality to it. It has really fun combat and everything, and it has some cool boss battles. So it really kind of throws everything at you in the beginning. Like, you're on an airship in the beginning, the airship's falling apart, so you have to freaking you have to basically evacuate the ship. So you land on this island, you find this out some stuff and everything. I don't want to tell everybody too much to it because some people will say spoilers, but it is a lot of fun. And one of the things that really like stand out in this game is like the charm it has with the characters and everything, the story that like going between the characters and everything. The combat is a lot of fun. It's definitely something you can get into. It's like a fast-paced Zelda, so it just feels really good. Nobody knows about the game, unfortunately, which I feel bad about. It's like, man, but definitely take a look at Sparklite. It's a great game. If you, like I said, if you're a fan of Zelda games, you'll definitely want to check this one out.
Have you ever played Blossom Tales?
Blossom Tales? No, I haven't heard of that one, man. No.
Yeah, that's.
Is that a physical?
I don't think it has a physical. It came out on. We reviewed it on our show when it was, man, years ago when it came out on Steam, and then it later got released like every indie game on the Nintendo Switch. And I still don't know how well it's done, but that is an excellent game. And the reason why I was asking you because I was wanting you to compare the two, which one you like better. But I recommend Blossom Tales if you haven't played it yet.
All right, well, man, I have to check out your video on it, man. So it sounds like it's pretty fun. Like, well, it's like a Zelda game, pretty much, right?
It's excellent. It's Link to the Past, in spirit. So you'll enjoy
okay.
it.
So, anyways, guys, Sparklite is my number 4, available for Switch and PS4. All right, Joel, what do you got for us?
My number 4 is another Nintendo Switch game, and that's Mario Maker 2. And Mario Maker...
Oh, man.
Man, I'll tell you what. I never got a Wii U. And the only reason why I really wanted a Wii U was for this game right here, because it was killing me inside that people were making Mario levels, and I couldn't. And when this got announced, I was like, oh, awesome. I'll finally play my Switch, because I've had a Switch since day one, played Zelda, and that was it, really. I haven't really done anything else with it, and I was feeling like I kind of might have wasted my money. And I know you all love the Switch. You're a YouTube reviewer, you love the Switch. I get it, okay? I'm not that guy, man. I'd rather pay $3 for a game on the PS4 that costs $59 on the Switch. I don't know. That's just me. Anyway. Oh man, shots fired, real. Reggie. Anyway, so but this game, they did an excellent job with this game. It really is unending, and that's another thing that I like about it. That there's just an infinite amount of levels. They put a story mode in here, which I loved as well. And
did they? Okay.
Yeah, and I love the fact that you can, like when I stream it, you know, the Media Glitch family and friends can send me their levels that they built, and I can try to, you know, beat them or die a million times. So I do wish, and I do wish they weeded out kind of those like really weird, stupid levels that people make. Mm-hmm. But other than that, man, this game is top notch, and they just recently updated it. Now you can play Link in it, which is kind of cool. So there's a lot. Oh, okay. There's a lot here to love, man. I don't know if they have any future updates, but I'll be playing this for a long time. And
do you think they'll ever make a Zelda Maker game?
Please, they need a Zelda Maker and they need a Mega Man Maker, and I'll be happy.
Well, we almost had a Mega Man Maker with the Mega Man universe, but that got canceled when Keiji Inafune left Capcom. So that was so disappointing. But anyways, Mario Maker 2, you're number 4, right?
That's my number 4, Reggie.
All right, going to my number 3. I might get heckled for this, man, but I don't care. This game was actually fun. And we actually have some honorable mentions, which we'll do after our initial list and everything. But my number 3 is River City Girls for PS4 and Switch. Now, why did I choose this game? This game is hilariously fun. Good animations. The story I skipped through it because it's just silliness and everything. But I got more about the game that you're going to like is the beat 'em up action, and it's a lot of fun. It's more like a sandbox beat 'em ups game in a way. So I guess it's just good to compare it to the regular River City Ransom game. If you play that one and like it, and like how you can go around and explore and everything like that, this game is more the same, but just done a lot better. And I actually beat this game. I only thought I was going to play it for a couple hours one night, and ended up just kept playing it. And next thing you know, I beat it over the next 2 days. So that kind of tells you how much the game draws you in it. A lot of fun. You get to unlock characters in the game after you beat the game and everything. And there's alternate endings for what I'm seeing. So when I beat the game, I got a regular ending, but there's another ending. So I'm going to try to get that on the PS4 version. But if you see this, the easiest way to get this game right now, of course, you could download it or whatnot. But if you want a physical, Best Buy usually carries the Switch copy. So River City Girls is my number 3. Joel, have you played this game yet?
I have not. I mean, of course, I played River City Ransom, and it's on my radar. It's a game I want. Again, sadly, I did not buy very many games in 2019. And if you follow my channel, you'll know I didn't buy one game in 2018 because I did a challenge.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, I did a challenge of not playing any game, or not. I played games, the games that were sent to me to review, but I didn't buy any new games because I wanted to get to my backlog. And that kind of put me in this weird mindset in 2019 where honestly, I only bought like 3 or 4 games. And that's it in 2019, which is insane for me. And that was on my radar, and I haven't picked it up. I'll probably pick it up on the cheap.
Cool, man. Well, what is your number 3, bro?
Well, my number 3, which might surprise people that it's only number 3, and that is Resident Evil 2. The remake.
Yeah!
And I'm going to start by saying that this is no way near as awesome as Resident Evil 2 on the PlayStation is. For some odd reason. Yes, graphics, amazing. Everything looks great, feels great. But, yeah, it's like your first love, your first girlfriend, right? Maybe she wasn't the hottest thing, but, she's just got a special place in your heart, And so
there you go, man.
I feel like Resident Evil 2 is that way to me. But this game, they did really well with Mr. X kind of chasing you around, like the sound the sound effects, the graphics, the gore, everything that zombie loving Resident Evil fans will want. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I don't think that Mr. X is as scary or brings the tension that Nemesis does in Resident Evil 3, which that game is amazing.
Right.
But still a fun ride. I wish, since it was a remake, they would have made it a tad bit longer. Maybe thrown in some more newer stuff, some newer adventures. I don't know. I could have been. I understand that it's two campaigns, but the both campaigns are very close alike.
They're very similar. There's not really much difference besides the exclusive scenes with Ada for Leon, and then of course Sherry and Claire. So, yeah.
Sorry, yeah, I wish it was longer. That was probably one of my biggest complaints of the game. You know, what did you have to say?
Well, for me, going back to what you said about the original, I definitely like the original game better, and that's just for the more part, it's more because that's the one that I had the first experience with. It was a great experience. It's just hard to top that first experience. You know what I mean? When it comes to a game like Resident Evil 2, the remake, when it was coming out, I felt like if they failed with it, it didn't matter because we always go back to the original Resident Evil 2, which is still great to this day. I really like the remake, and I think they utilized a lot of stuff they wanted to do in the first Resident Evil 2 that they couldn't because of hardware limitations. So, but still, the first Resident Evil 2, the original Resident Evil 2 is my favorite, but Resident Evil 2 remake is awesome as well.
Yeah, and I had a hard time with Claire, and I really loved Claire in Resident Evil 2. And there were some times where, like, she would just be smiling at me, and her eyes are buggy. Like, she looked like, Mass Effect Andromeda before they patched it, And it was just, sometimes I'd be like, girl, why are you smiling, man? People are dying around us. And I just want to smack that smile off her face.
You know what's funny? I actually like the way the characters looked before they got patched. It has some kind of charm to it. It's kind of weird, but I actually like the way it looked and everything. Matter of fact, I kind of finished that game. Jason actually let me borrow it for a while, and I got halfway through it. Then I just kind of put it down. But yeah, that facial expression they have, man, I guess is just kind of weird. But one thing I had a problem with Claire was that her character seemed kind of off to me in this game. Like there are certain scenes in the game where she just seemed like too gung-ho or whatever in a certain situation where somebody else would be like, what the heck, I'm out of here. But I don't know, that's what they wanted to go with her. She's definitely a stronger lead in the remake over the original Resident Evil 2.
Right. But all in all, man, this is a solid game. And my top two choices they were just stronger. And I'm a huge Resident Evil fan. If you watch the show, you know that. So it might come surprise, but hey, that's my number 3.
Okay. My number 2, and we're cracking down here, a game that came out of nowhere for me. I didn't pay attention to it until it was around the time it came out, and it was for some reason it was almost sold out everywhere because every GameStop only got like one copy of the game. So I would like to introduce to you guys World War Z, based off of the movie and I think a book as well.
Is Brad Pitt
and if
in
you
it?
play games like Left 4 Dead, what's another one to compare it to? Earthfall or something like that. Well, mostly Left 4 Dead. This game is like those games, but just so much better. First, instead of like a first-person view like Left 4 Dead is, you're in third-person view, which I prefer more. It's co-op online. Has a lot of cool modes to it. Zombies chasing you. You get to experience 3 levels. Well, they constantly update the game, so there'll probably be 4 levels by the time. Each section will probably have 4 levels. But anyways, there's USA, New York, Jerusalem, Russia, and Tokyo, and you get to play as different characters in each of those scenarios. And all the characters work. I mean, they're freaking awesome. Like the chemistry between them is great. So a lot of fun. My favorite levels in the game are Jerusalem. I think those levels are so much fun. But the game is just like it's just a good time. If you want to get into an arcadey type shooter, definitely try World War Z. Unfortunately, it doesn't have Brad Pitt in it, but I guess it costs too much money to license him in the game, maybe. But the only thing Brad Pitt about this game is they're trying to promote selling the first movie, so on DVD. So there's Brad Pitt right there, as you can see. Pick up World War Z the movie. But yeah,
if Brad Pitt ain't in it, Reggie, I'm not playing.
You're not gonna play it, really? You're not gonna give it a chance?
If Brad Pitt ain't in it, man. If Legends of the Fall's not in there.
So if you have the game already, they'll have some DLC. He'll pop up.
I might play it. I've actually thought about buying it. I'm a huge zombie fan. I collect zombie movies, for crying out loud. So I have a plethora of zombie games. So I'm sure I'll be getting that shortly, and then we'll play it on a stream.
And it's cheaper now. It's cheaper now too, so you'll definitely pick it up for a good price. There you go. What is your number 2, bro?
Well, my number 2 is I don't have a digital version or a physical version of this. I went and rented it at Redbox when you could still do that. And that is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. And I did not expect this to be so high on the list. I didn't expect it even to be that great of a game. Still feeling the burn of Battlefront 2. And I know it's a totally different game, but I just, I went in there just like, okay, another Star Wars game. And 5 minutes into this game, I was just like, all right, let's do this. And I streamed the whole game. Like, I just sat there and we streamed it all. And the graphics were great. The sound effects were great. They did a really good job of making you feel like you were a Jedi. The level up system, although the skill tree, everything just felt right. Even the difficulty felt very that I was happy with, because a lot of games are just a bit on the easy side, and I felt like this one was a little, like there were times I died, and I was like, okay, that's my fault, and so I really enjoyed it. Because I was speeding through it, I didn't get all of the power-ups and the hidden things, and it's very open world, and so you could explore. Like when I got to the end, I only had like 3 health. I forget what they're called, but if you're dying, you use it. And I only had like 3 or 4 of those, and I was still able to beat it. But when I got to the end, the ending, and I don't want to spoil it here, but it was amazing, and I was just like, wow. And then the end, when I beat it, I just felt like that was one of the best gaming experiences I had this year. And that is why it beat Resident Evil 2, Where Resident Evil 2, when I beat it, I was like, oh, okay, that was fun. That was cool. And
but Star Wars did something else. It's like, man, you want to like dive back into it.
When it goes down in price, digitally or physically, sometimes you can pick up EA games for cheaper on physical, and I'll do it that way. But when it goes down, it's definitely one I want to have and replay through and get all the trophies and all that stuff. So that's it. Star Wars number 2.
All right. Well, my number 1.
You want drum roll?
My number 1. Yeah, give me a drum roll, man.
You want Phil Collins drum roll?
Phil Collins. Yeah, heck yeah. Put that on there.
I just did it.
All right. My number 1 game of 2019, and you guys probably already know what it is, and that is Resident Evil 2 Remake. Yes, this made it to my number 1. Resident Evil, I've followed Resident Evil series has been one of the reasons why I got back into video games. I remember my nephew showed me Resident Evil 1. I was so pumped for it. Even though Resident Evil 1 was spoiled for me, I eventually got Resident Evil 2 and just fell in love with the series like crazy. And the Resident Evil 2 Remake was great for a lot of reasons, but the thing with it was it didn't really need to be made. I'm glad it was made, thankfully. But Resident Evil 2, the original one, was so good to me that I didn't really feel like it needed to be remade. But I'm glad they did, because they were able to utilize a lot of stuff that they weren't able to do on the PS1 system because of hardware limitations. Now, I'll give you an example of this. Me and Joel talked about Mr. X, walking around and everything. He would only show up at certain time events in the original game. So if you knew when he was going to show up, it wasn't really a surprise. In this game, you never know when he's going to show up. You hear him constantly walking around, patrolling the area, looking for you. So it brings that sense of tension to you. Like, oh man, he's not really scary or nothing like that. You know he's around, but it's just like in the original game, he scared the crap out of you the first time because punching through walls, they're showing up, and it was insane. A lot of people don't know this too. Like they talk about Mr. X's footsteps in the new game. His footsteps were actually relevant in the first game, but it only happened once. When he first arrived, you could hear his footsteps walking around the corner, and they were never able to really utilize the sound effects for it because they would have music overlapping it or whatever. So The new game is awesome. The footsteps are creepy. He's creepy, not really scary, but just more like creepy. I really enjoyed the game. I thought they did a good job, especially more so with Mr. X. They were able to like really portray him a lot better. I'm looking forward to what they're going to do with Nemesis in Resident Evil 3 remake, because Nemesis is going to be fast, smarter, and just overall just really clever. I mean, he obviously can use weapons against you, so I'm looking forward to that. But Resident Evil 2 remake, definitely my game of the year. I had a great time with it. I actually did a live stream on it a while ago. I have to put that back up because the first live stream didn't go that well. I messed up. I missed a lot of weapons because I couldn't see like on my television at the time, like certain like areas because where I was sitting at. But Resident Evil 2, yeah, definitely my number one game of the year. Joel, I'm sad that you weren't able to make this your number one game of the year, but I'm glad it made your list, man.
I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Nemesis, and if they can bring that terror and tension that I felt when I was younger. It'll be interesting to see.
Well, no, if they want to make Nemesis more terrifying, I mean, he's going to have to be able to enter save rooms. So you're going to have that sense where you're not going to feel safe anywhere. So maybe you could be in a save room for a little bit before he'll come in there, but they have to make you feel like a sense of like, he could get me in here. I got to get out of here. So that's what the kind of tension they needed to bring with Nemesis.
And then I know they're probably going to try to remake Resident Evil 4, but I hope that we would get Code Veronica first. It's tough though. I mean, but that's what I want. I'd want to see that next.
Code Veronica was a big game, and I guess they could do it if they haven't already started working on it. I knew Resident Evil 3 was being worked on side by side with Resident Evil 2 remake. But there was no news on Resident Evil Code Veronica being remade, so that's a possibility if people want it. If these games sell well to them, they go by the numbers pretty much. So if a game sells well, yes, let's take it. People are interested in Resident Evil, make the remake. Go ahead and do it. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments if you think Resident Evil Code Veronica will be remade. Do you want it to be remade? Do you care? Let us know. So Joel, what is your number one?
Well, if you watch Media Glitch, this will come as no surprise to anyone what my number one is. I have streamed it so much. I have talked about it. I streamed live when I got my platinum on it, unlocking everything. A game I continue to play. There's probably not a week that goes by. I would say probably every 3 days that game is getting played. For long periods of time, and that is Mortal Kombat 11. So, Mortal Kombat 11 to me, Mortal Kombat is kind of life to me. If you don't know, I've done tons of panels with the Mortal Kombat cast and with Daniel Pesina, all the originals. And I know a lot about Mortal Kombat. I love Mortal Kombat. I'm going to be doing some Mortal Kombat videos in the future just so you guys can understand why. There is a reason why Mortal Kombat is such a big part of my life. And with Mortal Kombat 11, they brought their A game. It is so well done. It is the best Mortal Kombat that we've gotten since Mortal Kombat 2. The characters have weight to them. The balance of the characters is so well done. And when something's not working, something's broken, they're quickly updating it. And the attention to detail is insane. The number of fatalities and brutalities is unheard of. We're talking like they go into the teens, and these brutalities. And it's just like, it is so good. The story mode is great. The crypt is awesome. And I know there's a big debate about like loot crates and what do they call it?
Loot boxes or crypt or microtransactions?
Yeah. I know there was a big debate about microtransactions and all that. But what's crazy is you don't have to buy anything. Everything is unlockable in this game. And as someone who is going to play this game until the next Mortal Kombat comes out, appreciates that, because I'm not trying to suck up to the company or nothing, but like I'm still like, I mean, I've unlocked all the crypt, but I'm still through these towers, unlocking different gear on the newer guys that I'm starting to learn and trying to master those guys. And it keeps the game fresh for a really, really long time. On top of that, add to the DLC that they've been constantly releasing with Shang Tsung, Terminator, Sindel, and you're going to have Joker and Spawn, all these people coming up. And I don't know if they continue, like, that might just be Combat Pack 1. You know, they might bring a Combat Pack 2. You know, Ed Boon is always surprising us with crazy things. So,
well, I'll tell you one thing for me, man. I'm waiting for the complete edition if they make it. But I'm looking forward to playing the game, man. I wanted to pick it up, man. I just when it comes to like the DLC characters, it's just like I don't know. I just feel like I have to wait for a complete edition. But I am very excited to play it. And it's funny, you said it's like the best Mortal Kombat next to Mortal Kombat 2. You know what my favorite Mortal Kombat game is?
I know what it is. It's
actually,
Mortal Kombat 4.
You know what it is? What is it?
It's Mortal Kombat 4. I know this because when we were at a gaming convention, you challenged me to it, right. And I still beat you.
Yeah, he beat me because the arcade versions have different revisions of character moveset. So
dude.
I picked Raiden, and his charge wouldn't work. I didn't know how to do his charge and everything, so all I could do was fireball, and it was just really awkward. So he got me that time.
Reggie.
He got me every Mortal Kombat game except Mortal Kombat 3 I got you on?
Yeah, you beat me in Mortal Kombat 3 once.
I got you in that one, which is that didn't make any sense, man. It should have been 4, so it still hurts. But
I beat you in 1. I beat you in Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 4. And I probably could have beat you in Mortal Kombat 3, but we're friends. It's a give and take relationship.
Oh, you trying to say you gave that victory to me? Oh man, you shouldn't have said that, Joe. Man, challenge accepted, man. I got to beat you on Mortal Kombat on a live stream in front of everybody, man. I'm gonna make you pay for that, man. You trying to make it sound like you gave me a pass, man. I'm gonna get you, Joel.
Here's the thing about Mortal Kombat. I agree. It's a smarter move if you haven't played it already to wait for a Game of the Year edition. NetherRealm oftentimes releases that Game of the Year all the time. I don't know if they're going to change it up. Our Game of the Year edition, and you can scoop all those characters up. I can't because I play competitively online sometimes, and so I want to, when Reggie finally enters into the ring, he's just going to get smoked. He's going to have a whole year of catching up to do, and I'm going to continue to play, man, so he's never really going to catch up.
I'll get you with the Cage family and my number one character, Raiden. I'll be good to go, man. So, you know who I wanted to play as in that game? What was his name? It was the weird guy that freaking he moves like a robot. Not a robot. Garrus?
Oh yeah.
I hear Garrus is pretty cool, so I want to try his character.
Oh, he's really good. He's top tier.
All right, so now we are gonna do 2 of our honorable mentions that didn't make the list. So I'm gonna start off, and the first game here is gonna be Burger Time Party. This game was a lot of fun, and if you want to play a 4-player Burger Time game, this is definitely the only one you could play, at least that I know of. But it's a lot of fun, and I ended up playing for like an hour, and I only planned on playing for like a couple of minutes at the time. So it really sucked you in. It was a lot of fun. I think they did a great job with the animations. If you haven't played a Burger Time game, it's very simple. You try to put a burger together while being chased by the foodies, I'll call them, and they're just chasing after you or whatever. So you're trying to make these sandwiches, and you're trying to get past the level. A lot of fun. 4-player mode in this game. Definitely something that will go under the radar for some people. Like when I got this copy here, my local Best Buy only got 1, so that tells you like how uncommon it was at stores. And my last honorable mention was Ninja Survivors. Now this would have made the list, but I didn't beat this one yet. I actually beat River City Girls, so this one was replaced by that. And if you haven't played Ninja Saviors, I hope I said that right the first time. Ninja Saviors: Return of the Ninja Warriors. They added a 2-player mode in it, 2 more characters from the original version. Lots of fun, good 2D animation. Definitely a beat 'em up. If you like 2D sprite, like a side scroller beat 'em up, this is definitely something you can get into. Check this one out. Trying to make sure it it even came with manual. A couple of pages in there and some stickers. So I think the game goes around $30. Definitely worth picking up for that price. And Joel, your honorable mentions, man.
Those are good honorable mentions. Burger Time. I don't know, man. I didn't even know that existed. But the second one, I was a big fan of the first one, and I like that they kind of kept that same feel and look of the first one into this one. And so I can appreciate that. So my honorable mentions, first I got to shout out to Monster Hunter, the DLC that came out, the Iceborne DLC. Amazing.
Right.
But that's different. So
that's not this year though, is it?
It is this year.
Last year.
But it's DLC, so I feel like it's kind of like cheating a little bit, you know.
Oh, okay.
So my first honorable mention is Sydney Hunter and the Curse of the Mayan, which is a amazing retro game, and the only reason why this should be on my top 5, 100%, because this game I played a lot. I beat it every which way on the Switch. I beat it every which way on Steam. And I beat it every which way on the multiple copies I got during the time of making. And that is why I didn't put it on my list, because of the fact that I was involved in the making of the game. So, in a little aspect, just big testing, giving some input here and there. There were much smarter people than me at work on this one here, kids. But I highly recommend it. I think this is a great game for retro lovers. They hit every nostalgia button that you want. So yeah, that's my first mention. Did you play Sydney Hunter?
One of the nostalgias for me was remember in Zelda 2 when you fall in a pit or whatever, and it has that weird background screen. Mm-hmm. And they actually have that in Sydney Hunter as well. So I thought that was pretty hilarious. More of the feels came in that game, I would say, for me, or just like kind of like exploring stuff and the way things work. The game really reminds me of a game I used to play on my IBM computer, which some people might not remember. It was called Pharaoh's Tomb. Okay. Sydney Hunter reminds me so much of that game. And I can't wait to do my review about it, man. I'm going to talk more about it. But yeah, that's a good choice, man.
Your review's got to be better than my review. That's all I'm gonna say.
There's no way that's gonna happen, dude. Your review was so extensive, dude. It probably like scared us from other people from doing the review. They're like, man, dude, that review was too tight, man. Your review is like really up there, dude. I was like, dude, I was like, man, I could try to compare it to it or do something, man. Your review was like, man, it was good, man. It was really good, man.
Well, thank you. My other honorable mention is, of course, Bloodstained, which is a game that came out that I bought 4 years ago.
Yeah, I was about to say, that game came out 4 years ago. No, it actually kickstarted 4 years ago. Now it came out this year, last year.
I really enjoyed this game. I had a fun time, and but it wasn't good enough to make my top 5. So those are my honorable mentions. Again, I didn't play as many games as most people do in 2019, so... That's it, man, Reggie.
That's it. Well, awesome, man. Well, hey, guys, that is the end of our 2019 list. And Joel, man, let the people know where they can find you at, man.
Well, you can find me over on YouTube, Media Glitch Show. We are kind of in a bit of a transition right now because we're always been on YouTube, but we're a live TV show here in Albuquerque. For 8 years, we had that show every week going in there live, and it recently didn't get canceled, but the whole station, basically every channel on that station went down. So right now we are kind of revamping everything, trying to figure out what we're going to do, how we're going to present that to you guys. I have no clue yet. Hey, be excited for that. And follow us, subscribe to us, like our videos, comment. Let me know if you're from Reggie's channel. I would love to know if you're a new subscriber from Reggie's channel. And also, I do a lot of streaming on Twitch. And like just the other night, me, Reggie, and Intrigue Gaming, we were all on my stream and playing, and it was fun. It was a good time. So come join us, check us out. Love to have you.
Awesome. Well, all right, guys. That's all we got for you. Radical Reggie, Media Glitch Joel, and we will see you later.
Later.